Well, let's bring in our next management. Titan is with us. The management is with us. First quarter was a bit muted. EBITDA profit met street estimates. Gross and EBITDA margins were stable as well, though. We have Ashok Sonthalia, CFO at Titan, now joining in to talk more about the first quarter performance. Mr. Sonthalia, good morning. Great to have you with us here as always. Prashant this side. I guess what the market wants to know is the outlook for the remainder of FY25 for the jewellery business. Could you tell us how has the second quarter panned out so far?
So, in fact, the July month had a major event in between in terms of union budget, reducing custom duty in a large this thing. So pre that, market was okay, slightly better than I would say quarter one. But post custom duty reduction, we see a lot of traction coming in for particularly gold jewelry. And a lot of customers are coming in if they were on the fence to make their purchases. That gives us the encouraging sign for the remainder of the quarter two, and quarter three being a festive quarter always, we are very, very positive about that.
Could you tell us, post that sort of customs duty change, what has been the is there a noticeable bump up in sales?
In the gold jewelry purchase, I can say, yeah, it is a noticeable.
I mean, would you be able to broadly, ballpark quantify it?
So if the quarter one growth numbers were 9% above, definitely we are seeing healthy double-digit growth post budget.
And sir, is this only restricted to jewelry, or are you seeing sale of coins as well? Because that duty, the capital gains tax cut, that's the other bonanza, right? Coming down to 12.5%. So just wondering if there's more investor appetite that's already visible?
So custom duty has a direct impact on jewelry business, particularly gold jewelry business. And we have talked about that. This is very, very positive move by the government, which will help jewelry industry to be more organized and and it will improve competitiveness of Titan brands particularly. So we are very, very positive. As far as LTCG is concerned, I don't think there is a very, very direct implication for jewelry industry that way.
Okay, all right. Hi, Mr. Sonthalia. Good morning and good to see you, Ben. Well, what about the inventory loss? It's going to be a positive for sales, but there would be some inventory hit that we should be looking forward to as well?
So we talked about, Nigel, that we had certain inventory which was custom duty paid. And that will flow through our P&L for the next 6 months as that inventory gets sold in the market. And that estimate, one-time loss estimate, is ranging from 500 to 550 crores.
So that will be in the next 2 quarters. Quarter 2 and quarter 3 will see that impact, right?
Yes.
Got that. Also, we'll get back to the numbers, but there have been large conglomerates that have entered the space. And it could get a little bit competitive. How do you read this? Birlas and Reliance are, making their presence felt out there. The market's big enough for all to exist, or do you expect the competitive intensity to hurt?
So competitive intensity in organized players is definitely going up, Nigel. But overall market is very large, and the secular trend of organized sector gaining over unorganized is intact. So I'm sure there is a space for more organized players or organized players expanding. Yeah, temporary, there will be cycles of intense competitiveness and then, settling down. Perhaps we are going through right now that. And but we are okay. As long as market is getting organized, people are looking for brands which they trust and which they like. It's okay.
Sir, let's talk about the jewelry business in particular and some more trends here, because I believe the share of studded did not really go up much in the quarter gone by. What is the trend? Is this a one-off? What do you forecast for the rest of the year as we get into festive? And also for the jewelry business margin, where you've been talking about maintaining those margins above, I think, 11.5%. Now with this new pricing dynamic coming in with the duty cut, etc., what's your expectation and guidance for the jewelry business EBIT margin?
So as far as margin is concerned, our Q1 delivery of EBIT and EBITDA margin has been in line with the previous Q1, and we don't expect anything significant changing as far as remaining 3 quarters are concerned. You are right that while studded overall in absolute amount is growing, but the growth rate is slightly below gold jewelry rate. Gold at this point of time, from the investment angle point of view, perhaps is slightly more appealing to the consumers, and high value diamond and solitaires are slightly at a slower move, which of course affects our margin profile overall for the jewelry business. But we are able to maintain by working on various cost levers, various margin improvement program. So we think that margin for the remaining of year would be around the same line, while competitive intensity is there. But I don't think we are looking at price cuts or squeezing margin to kind of defend our market share or grow our market share.
So can you give us the band again, sir? When you say they'll stay around the same lines and level, you're at about, I think, 11.2% in Q1.
Right.
So
overall 12%, we have talked about in last annual investor day also, that domestic jewelry should be anchored around 12%, could be plus minus a little bit here and there, but that's our target to be achieved by us. Yeah.
Okay, and Mr. Sonthalia, this includes, coming back to all that talk about competition, higher sort of spending, marketing spending, etc. I mean, you're accounting for all of that. Will we see that, by the way, higher spends?
Not very significant, but wherever the jewelry industry is very, very regional and catchment based. So wherever we find that, and we keep mapping our competition from city to city and catchment to catchment. So of course, something more to be done on the marketing, and which we will not shy away. But that should not be so significant that we need to tell about margin impact on that.
And, I've asked you this before on lab-grown diamonds, that still remains very insignificant? I mean, in terms of...
Yes, compared to US market, what we saw, markets are very different. In India, still it is a slow start, I would say. And that might have created, of course, some noise. And that is where you see high value studded and maybe solitaire slightly slower than rest of the portfolio. We will wait and watch how maybe lab-grown diamonds are recruiting new customers in India, and they are likely to do that compared to US, where the diamonds was already very, very penetrated category. So we will wait and watch. We are kind of keeping our eyes wide open on this development, but so far it is still not affecting customer sentiment so much.
All right, Mr. Sonthalia, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. Great speaking with you. It's always a pleasure having you with us. That's the management of Titan. Stocks down about 1.5%.